Hello, everyone. My name is Courtney Pollock, and I'm the Customer Marketing Coordinator for SWK Technologies. I'd like to welcome you to our webinar, Automate Your Supply Chain Across Selling and Buying Channels, presented by Mo Demirci from SPS Commerce. Before we get started, let's go over some housekeeping items. Everyone has been placed on mute to keep background noise to a minimum. However, throughout the webinar, you can ask any questions you have. If you'd like to submit a question, look for the questions section of your GoToWebinar panel, and we're going to answer all questions at the end of the presentation. We're also recording this presentation, and it will be distributed tomorrow to everyone who is attended, as well as those who registered but were unable to attend. In your GoToWebinar panel, you also have the option to change the presentation layout, participate in the chat, ask questions, or download a copy of the presentation itself. And finally, we would appreciate your participation in our closing poll and survey. With that said, we're thrilled that you've taken some time out of your busy day to be with us on this session. SWK is here to help you fulfill your vision of a smarter and easier way to run your business by providing you with tools, support, industry knowledge whenever you need it. So whether you're here to explore new solutions or you're just here to learn, don't hesitate to ask any questions you have while the experts are here. And as a quick reminder, SWK is constantly sharing important updates and software tips and tricks on our social media channels. You can follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, so you don't miss out on any of our other webinars and events like this. Okay, that's enough for me. I'm going to hand it over to Mo for the main event.
Thanks so much, Courtney. Really appreciate the time, and thank you to the SWK team for allowing us to take part of this educational session. I hope that you find it beneficial, and thank you for the participant and those who registered and unable to attend. Without further ado, I just want to start with a quick intro. My name is Mo Demirci. I manage the Acumatica practice here at SPS. I've been in the Acumatica ecosphere for just a little over 3 years. Really excited to walk you through automating your supply chain across selling and buying channels, and we'll be covering primarily today the Acumatica and the Sage ecospheres. With that being said, I'm just going to turn off my camera here just to make sure that we have a good bandwidth and no interruption, and we'll continue. Please feel free to type in any questions you have in the Q&A section or the chat, and we'll make sure to get to all your questions at the end. And Courtney will be assisting me with that. So, all right. So SPS, just a quick ground setting and SPS, who we are and how we look at EDI. So SPS, we're a publicly traded company, been the World EDI network over the past 25 years. We're 100% cloud-based, just a little over 2,500 employee globally. A majority of us are in our Minneapolis, Minnesota headquarters. So how we really look at EDI. So really we understand your world is complex. When we're looking at customer or working at customer like you across industries over the past really 20 years, we truly understand the complexity of your business. But not only that, but navigating the complexities of multiple channels, multiple customers, partner, we understand it's a big challenge, and the demand is really to seamlessly exchange data with multiple partners and managing suppliers and raw materials and components, really to make sure that you're delivering on your promise, managing all that, and really delivering the complex and finished goods. It's really delicate balance act and demand precision, accuracy, and there are really nuances and new updates and changes that happening across the supply chain, which can really be prone to unexpected disruption. And I believe a prime example for majority of us on this call is what happened back in 2020 with the pandemic and how that really impacted the supply chain across industries across the globe. And the ones that really came on top that were able to manage that data exchange and pivot on the fly and make sure that everything is communicated, transitioned, and updated seamlessly. So with all that really is data where everything starts at the center, from serving different customers channels and getting that data, sharing that across B2B marketplace, making sure you have your product listed on any e-com platforms, managing orders, acknowledging them, really sharing that shipping details is vital, keeping inventory updates, aligning that inventory listing on the website when customers looking to place an order, and really matching it with invoices and understanding at the end is that sell-through data at the end of the day. All that data is really crucial and um, essential to making sure you're managing all that with your customer. So the critical capability is really to tackle that complexity, whether you're selling e-com, you're selling to traditional retailers or marketplaces. Really the technology, or there are 7 categories that you need to tackle to be successful, and managing that, it's the key here. So starting with the technology, really managing that, and there are complexities that goes with it. The outside of the technology really comes in the trading partner expertise, having an insider insights on how all of your customers channels require you to really interact with them and how to manage that information. Design and configuration. How would you be setting up each of these customers in the right way so you don't have to manage them all as one-off connections? Imagine having multiple of these trading partners or multiple of these channels. If you manage everything by exception, you can see how really that could get out of control very quickly. And then designing and configuration, really setting up each of these customers in the right way so you don't have to manage all. And then the communication, how would you back and forth in a consistent way based on your customer requirement? And then testing and launching, ensuring everything is working properly, and proactive monitoring and analysis, making sure that you keep an eye on things, catching all of these changes mentioned, and figuring out how to get them implemented and ongoing across. Unlike really others in the industry who make similar promises, we guarantee that delivery of these critical capabilities are core components. These are not challenges left for you to solve or your team, because these are core capabilities your business could be at risk. So really the absence of comprehensive support may lead to high cost, damaged reputation, lost customer, missed revenue opportunities. So really with all that, the fulfillment, we've seen all this over the years. We know we had to do something to help really solve those challenges. It's why we created fulfillment. This provides you with the capabilities that you need to get an A with your customers. So SPS is the only full service EDI provider or solution that in the marketplace today. And what does that really mean to you? Is you're getting the technology, you're getting the tools, but also you're getting a team of experts to manage everything. And this is where we come in and where we know we're the difference. We have the technology, and don't take our words for it. In fact, both Acumatica and Sage has endorsed and chose SPS to be their EDI provider. After years in the marketplace, we have a dedicated team that will be assigned to your business to get you set up, running, and make the technology work like it's supposed to. And we support you ongoing to ensure that you continue to process order efficiently and effectively. So with that, we're really uniquely positioned in the marketplace to offer you a solution that we have because of our extensive network, experience, expertise for the past 20 plus years, connecting suppliers, retailers, marketplace, e-com platform, and have done it over 1 million times. with over 3,500 buying organizations and over 100,000 suppliers like you already using our network across the industry. In addition, we've connected to 400 different systems. Primarily today, we're talking about Sage and Acumatica. And we're expert in all, or excuse me, we're expert in all order fulfillment models, and we've helped organizations leverage best practices in order to execute them as efficiently as possible. And we've also worked across all channels to understand the nuances in those requirements. And we've been essential. We have the essential security certification to give you the confidence to work with us. So because of all that works and those connections we have created, we've captured all the requirements we talked about earlier in our network, the data rules, formats, business process that you will have to run, how you will need to communicate with your customers. We know exactly what your specific retail customers are going to ask you or going to ask of you, what marketplaces e-com platform require. So you really don't need to find out or understand how to maintain it. We just have it all, and then you connect with you and we give you access to that. Excuse me one second. Sorry about that. So you might also have really expensive system in place that you don't really want it to do it all for you. We understand the limitation. We understand what's expected to do, like holding and returning data you don't need, but your trading partner asks you for it. Managing really those external requirements or the changes, expecting the new business process, managing multiple communication channels, or translating that data into a unique format that your customer really asks you of. There are gaps that you begin to see in, and can be overwhelming to think about replacing your system to accommodate the pressure from your customer. So really, what the message here is, what I'm trying to say is, our team didn't stop there, expanding our expertise into various systems. We've forged a strong partnership with leaders like Acumatica and Sage. Our team of experts understand the nuances of these systems, and we enhance them to meet unique needs. We follow Acumatica's and Sage best practices to ensure really seamless integration, unlocking efficiencies. As your a strategic partner, we stay ahead of the curve and making sure your business stay ahead in ever-evolving landscape of digital transformation. So really, Acumatica and Sage inherently doesn't have those required fields to accommodate for those EDI needs and your customer requirements and where to house that. So really, we are adding those capabilities to Acumatica. We're adding those capabilities to Sage. We're adding our own tables to accommodate for all these nuances that are required of your customer to make sure that you're staying ahead of the curve. And really, how we do that, we simplify the process for you by taking over the trading partner. So what you're looking here, the dropship, the e-com marketplace, the Costco, the Home Depot of the world on the right side, that's our network strength. That was the 1 million connection that we just mentioned earlier on the slide. So we take all that, the business process, the data format, the communication method, testing, timing, and we simplify that for you. And then our system really standardize that, and then we translate that to to align with your business and really what Sage and Acumatica require. So we connect and facilitate the appropriate communication through appropriate channel, and we validate along the way, giving you really full visibility through data flow to ensure it's running smoothly. All of this is supported by a team of experts in-house here at SPS who truly understand those requirements, not only your trading partner requirements or your customers, but also your unique business needs and your specific system requirement, i.e. Sage and Acumatica. And then we prescribe the most streamlined solution for you so we can handle any type of relationship you have with your customer. We know each relationship with your customer is unique, and we tailor the solution that really will fit um, the situation. And this is really how our homepage would look like inside of Acumatica. So you will be managing all these different sales channel, all these different e-com platform, all these different trading partner requirement. You're familiar with your system, Acumatica. You're familiar with Sage. You love working in your current environment. And really, we want to take that EDI complexity, the specific um, relationship that you have with all your customers, and we streamline that and bring it all inside of your Acumatica. And this is just a glimpse of how that would look like in your system. And same thing goes for Sage 100. Courtney, I don't know how we're doing with Q&A, or but we're almost uh, at the end here. So I wanted to just share a couple market trends from what we see in the marketplace landscape and what's changing and what's evolving. And wanted to leave you with a couple nuggets or tidbits to make sure that you are in the know and you know what SPS is bringing to the table. So one prime example is Costco has partnered with SPS. So we are acting on behalf of Costco to really onboard their suppliers or anyone that's working with them. Costco just added a requirement for advanced ship notice, or ASN, the 856, to be included with anyone selling to Costco, and also UCC 128 labels. So this is a prime example of our strength in the marketplace and what we are doing on behalf of those buying organizations. So Costco is the most recent program that we just kicked off for 8,000 of their suppliers, and we're onboarding them. So if you're selling to Costco, you're probably familiar with that new requirements, or you've already been approached by someone from SPS on behalf of Costco, or Costco already communicated that. In terms of the publisher, we have a very tight alignment with both Acumatica and Sage, and we know both are about to release or rolling out a new version or a new update. I know Acumatica yesterday just announced the 2024 R1 release. So SPS is already working behind the scene with both publishers in terms of certification and in terms of compatibility with the new releases. One other thing here is the trends that we are seeing just across the marketplace is with sales data that we talked about. So item data, a lot of these buying organization asking you to provide them with item data, including attributes, size, pictures, different SKUs. That is becoming more and more ask of you, and we're seeing everybody does it differently. So really becoming a challenge to maintain all these different databases, maintaining all these specification, and updating your customer with that. And then on the flip side, also, a lot of these buying organizations are really providing sales through data at their different location, at the register level, and it really comes as a big data dump, if you will, and it's up to you to decipher that information and build these dashboards to make sense and being more proactive in terms of managing your supply chain, managing your inventory levels, and really bringing all that to the front. And what we've done on behalf of our customer, we streamline that process on both providing item data and also making sense and slicing and dicing those data and creating dashboards for our customers so they can really stay ahead of the curve and understand where their products are selling, what's the hot items, and can be more of a proactive in uh, stocking up and getting ready for orders before they actually come to you and start making products. So that's what I had to share here. Wanted to open up to Q&A, or if we have any questions from the audience, Courtney.
Yes, we've had some questions come in throughout. So as we go into Q&A, I just want to launch a quick poll. So, short and sweet today, just wanted to give you a feel for how SPS can automate your supply chain. But we want to know if you want to learn more about how SPS Commerce can specifically help your business. So we appreciate your participation in the poll on your screen now. And Mo, while we have that poll up, I want to go ahead and ask you the first question that came in during the presentation. So they said you mentioned full service and that your team will manage things. They said a common situation they find themselves in is having to update specs, maps, other things like that for their customers that they've already set up. Is that something that SPS would manage, or would they still manage that?
Yeah, that's a really great question, and oftentimes we get asked that. It's yes, that's part of our full service approach. That's where we pride ourselves in doing on behalf of our customers. So you don't have to be expert in managing all these changes, the maps. Your customer is communicating through VAN with you today, and all of a sudden they told you they need to change to AS2 or API connections. That's all part of the service that we provide our customer is all included in their subscription with us. So you don't have to be expert in EDI or really be concerned about the day that your customer asks you to make any changes. SPS does all that on your behalf. Great question.
Awesome. Our next question we had was that you showed us your embedded EDI solution. Is it possible to see the entire workflow, how we can set that up, how tracking out invoices, how all these things work?
Yeah, absolutely. Whether it's Sage or Acumatica, please feel free. We'll have our contact information, and you can reach out directly to us or work with your SWK contact, and we'll be more than happy to set a personalized session one-on-one to show you really how a day in life would look like in your um, Acumatica environment or Sage environment and walk you through it and answer any questions on the spot.
Yes, if that was your question, let us reach out to your SWK rep, email us at info@swktech.com. Our contact information will be on the next slide. And the final question I have from the audience is, you referred to your strategic partnerships with Sage and Acumatica. Can you explain what you mean by that, how Sage and Acumatica are involved?
Yeah, absolutely. So great question. So part of the relationship that we've developed, so our dev team behind the scene work with Acumatica's and Sage dev team. As we mentioned earlier, inherently the ERP doesn't have specific places to accommodate those unique EDI requirements or your customer requirements. And part of the service, part of the technology that we've developed, our team actually add those additional fields in the ERP, and we add our own tables in the ERP to accommodate those unique requirements for EDI. So part of the alignment with the publisher, with Sage and Acumatica, we actively working on a new enhancement and new improvements, future releases with the publisher, and we're aligning with that. And we know there are exciting new versions coming out for Sage and Acumatic, and we've already working behind the scene with the team there at the publisher side, and we are ready, we're excited, and we are really hoping to show you how those enhancements and those new features gonna look like for both the ERP and our integration there. Great questions.
Great, that makes a lot of sense. So I think that's all of our questions for today, unless there's a last minute submission. So here's some of the contact for the SPS team. Again, SWK is happy to connect you with them. So just let us know in the post-webinar survey, talk to your SWK account manager, or reach out to us at info@swktech.com. And with that, we just want to thank you for joining us today, taking some time out of your busy day to be with us on this session. If you'd like to know more about SPS, Mo is here to help. Your SWK team is here to help, so let us know and we'll get you that information on how it can work specifically within your Acumatica or Sage environment. So thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye all.